this time of the year highlights the commercialism of, just luxury and abundance, but at the same time, it also highlights want and need. And that's why today on the show, a week before Christmas, we want to highlight the season of meaningful giving. Not just buying, not just giving in to commercialism, but also being thoughtful in the presents that we give to other people. And so today we want to give you an option to give gifts that give back. Introducing you now to female entrepreneurs that are trying to give back to their communities in the Philippines by making products that we can give as presents during this time. This is so cool.
One of the reasons behind us starting Kubo, my sister and I, it's just like to not lose that Filipino traditions and Filipino culture.
I've always found it quite amazing that we have this opportunity now to choose where we want to be and to experience different cultures, and we're very lucky to do that.
Joined today by two female entrepreneurs. First of all, congratulations on your ventures. Rumples Miranda joining us from New York. She is representing Kubo. And Rebecca Stanbridge is joining us from North Carolina, and she is representing Lumagó Designs. I'll give you the honors of introducing your brand to our viewers and followers.
Kubo means native house on stilts. That's really where the name is derived from. It's from the Bahay Kubo. So basically, Kubo means home. My sister and I started Kubo back in 2015. We both had been living in the United States for quite some time now. And I guess at a certain point, you really feel that bit of homesickness when you're living so far away from home. And I guess that's where the idea for Kubo came from. Just the longing to bring a piece of home to where we are. A lot of pieces that really reminded us of home. So trays, baskets, woven stuff, a lot of textiles that are still woven traditionally, pieces that are still made traditionally. So we embarked on the journey to connect with makers back in the Philippines, and eventually ended up showcasing Filipino-made products and giving them a platform to be seen and known on a broader scale.
And Becky, it's not often that we see a blonde lady with an English accent talking about jewelry that's made in the Philippines. Tell us about Lumagó Designs.
So Lumagó means to blossom in the national Philippine language of Tagalog. And it was chosen by the ladies that we support, as they believe they're a community of artisans that blossomed out of the Dumaguete dump site. I moved from the Philippines. I lived there for 7 years supporting our artisans, and my husband is half Filipino. Since the beginning of my time in Dumaguete, I witnessed the challenges that so many people face due to the circumstances that they're born into, and that's through no fault of their own. So by connecting them with basic freedoms such as meaningful work, healthcare and education that we take for granted in the Western world, I realized that I could have an impact on the community.
I like that. Rumples, it's not uncommon that we hear of Filipinos wanting to give back to the Philippines and also wanting to elevate Philippine products into the global stage, right? But then, Becky, I'm more curious because you're not Filipino, but here you are with a love and concern for Filipino communities in the Philippines, especially those in Dumaguete. Can you tell us why? Where is it coming from?
I first met my husband there 11 years ago, and I fell in love with the country. And the Philippines, it's so beautiful, and the people are so friendly and welcoming and warm. But traveling around, I traveled all over Asia, and you see so much poverty everywhere. And I was given the opportunity at the end of my traveling to do a medical mission with my partner's mother and her. There's a group of doctors from North Carolina who go there every year and do a medical mission. So that sort of giving back at that point, it kind of encapsulated everything, all of that guilt that I felt as a traveler, just walking around and seeing it and not being able to do anything. So I always felt from that point, from after the medical mission, that I wanted to get back into, I wanted to help. I didn't want to just move there and be a diver. I mean, a lot of people do that and it sounded amazing, but I just felt like I wanted to give back somehow to this country that had just taken me in. And
how does that make you feel, Rumples? I'm hearing from a non-Filipino talk about the Filipinos like that, how warm the
I
people
mean,
are.
I'm always amazed, like meeting people who visited the Philippines, considering that it's such a small country. It's a scattered group of multiple islands, but then there are people who actually travel 20 plus hours to visit the country and fall in love. I have a few friends who've never left, visited the Philippines and never left, and it's always heartwarming. It's always so amazing to hear stories like this, uh, considering Becky's journey and where it led her to actually start a business and sustain a community like this. It's just amazing.
So we're hearing a lot about this. It's not just an enterprise now. It's not just a venture. It's not just a business, because you're also helping, like to borrow what Rumple's term was, to sustain communities in the Philippines. So it's sustainable fashion, right? It's sustainable products. It's also fair trade. It's also kind of giving back. You're not just buying a product. There's a story behind it, and there's a group of community, and that's group of people, a community that you're helping to survive, right, in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What was the impetus, Rumples, for starting a business like this? Because this is fairly new, especially in the Philippines, this concept
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
you're not just buying a product, but there's a whole story behind it.
I guess because my background is really in fashion and retail, and working in that environment can be pretty toxic if you're working behind the scenes, because you see the whole supply chain, how things are made, how much things are made, and how they're disposed of, and you're like, there is some sort of disconnect between like consumers and how things are made. This is our way of really just being more intentional in things that we acquire for ourselves, and just really putting thought into like who made the things that I have. Our stuff, we always say when people ask, they are not made by factories, they're made by human hands. And that's what makes it important. There is that connection that that someone touched this piece and made it, put time and effort to make it. And that's what makes it special. That's why this piece is special, and that's why you keep it, and that is the story behind it. A lot of that is lost when you buy from Amazon, for example. Like that instant gratification, I think is so imparted in everyone's heads right now, that you lose that story, you lose that magic, I think. And we just want to bring that back.
And taking it a step further, Becky, you're actually making products out of trash. Can you explain that to us?
The fashion industry is actually one of the most toxic industries that we have, right? If you consider how much pollution it makes. Fast fashion, people just buying pieces of clothing that are so cheap, made in factories in China. We work with a group of ladies that live surrounding a city dump site in Dumaguete, and they already have that notion of taking something and turning it into something else. So upcycling was already a way of life for them. And even though we make a very small impact on our community, we intercept the trash before it gets to the dump site, so they don't have to be scavenging on the dump site. But it's really more at the message. Slow fashion, someone has made it by hand, just like Rumples is saying. But it's the message, it's the story that comes with it, and it's almost about the way that I saw it in the Philippines. It's like enlightening people to what the fashion industry is doing to our planet. I just want to say that social enterprise is really how all businesses should run. It shouldn't be about the bottom line only. if you look after your employees and your customers as well as the environment, and while trying to have a positive impact in the community, it's just a common sense business philosophy.
I'm actually getting goosebumps hearing you ladies talk. It's very inspirational. We started out this segment as kind of like a gift guide, what you can give, right? Because you're not just giving a gift. You're giving a thought. You're giving back life and sustainability to the communities that make these products that you're buying, right?
Really about giving meaningfully.
I love that. Yeah, giving meaningfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it makes such great gifts. It's got like another element to the gift because people can then see who's made it, and they know that what their purchase is actually giving back and not harming the environment and people that make it. So
some of those pieces that they have been talking about are these jewelry that are made from garbage or trash in the Philippines. This one is made of paper beads, and we're going to know more about these products when we return on the show. Don't go away. Thank you for sharing your time with us here on So Jannelle. It is a week before Christmas. Maligayang Pasko po sa inyong lahat. This is also the season of not just giving, but the season of meaningful giving. So we are suggesting today on the show to give gifts that give back to the community. Earlier, we introduced you to two female entrepreneurs that are trying to give livelihood to communities in the Philippines by making jewelry out of trash, but also at the same time making Filipino-made products that we can be proud of. These are coasters. These are just some of the examples from Kubo. Kubo is a company that was started by sisters. What they do is they make home products in the Philippines and then ship it all over the world. And so these are just some gift ideas that you can give to your loved ones this Christmas. Here's more.
So this is the season of giving. It's the holiday season. But we've been saying, you know, this past few weeks on the show, we've been saying it's also the season of spending, if you think about it, because you spend on what you give, right? So you might as well spend on something meaningful. So with that said, where can we get to see your products? Can you identify maybe your top 5 bestsellers?
We have a lot of tabletop pieces now, especially because people are starting to gather again. So we feature a lot of tabletop pieces. We have like these coasters, which are cute. They come in a set of 4, so they're hand woven out of raffia. They're fun. They're called the Pahias coasters, which is out of the name Pahias comes from a festival in the Philippines, and it's cute. Like we like this as a little stocking stuffer with maybe like a bottle of wine. Going to a party, like a hostess gift. So this is $10. We're also like very into our baskets and trays. So our best sellers would be like this, this is like our favorite size and shape. So this is the Marcelo. It's very versatile. Like everyone who we meet who sees this basket, they'd be like, oh my gosh, like the countless ways I can use this basket. It's kind of like amazing. So it can be like put on your entryway table as like a little catch-all. It can be a fruit basket on your kitchen counter, like a sustainable, eco-friendly way to give gifts this season.
I was even thinking for the restroom, like the pad.
Yeah, like for like little necessities for the toilet. And then this is another like new favorite piece. We like the detail of this tray. So it's also like a nice, like it's not too big, it's not too small. This tray, it's called our mariposa. So it's like derived from a butterfly.
I have a few with me.
Yes.
This is one of our all-time decadent pieces. It's made of the pull tabs from drinks cans. This is called the Marife Necklace.
Okay. Love
this
that.
retails at $24 right now. We've got our Christmas stars. How cute are they?
Oh, how cute.
This is made of rolled magazines, so they can hang on your Christmas tree. 3 for $10.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Not bad.
Our little man keychains. I love these little keychains. They're just adorable. This is one of our original products. A purposeful gift as well for those people, anyone that, you know, hard to buy for. We do $3 also. And then also these little bracelets. These are some of our best sellers. So, you know, that they make really good gifts. They come in sets of 4. These ones are recycled t-shirts. Then we got all these paper bead ones. But we've got so many different designs. You can see my earrings. These are all paper beads as well.
I love it. I was telling Rumples earlier, we both have children. This was before we started recording. So we're raising our children, Rumples, in America. So they're Americans, right? And then my husband's English, but I don't want them to lose that Filipino side. And these are so cute. I mean, even if you put those stars on one of the trays that Rumples has, that will be a cute, like, right?
And going back to that point of like raising children in America as like Filipinos living in America, it's actually a very difficult task. And I think that's also one of the reasons behind us starting Kubo, my sister and I. It's just like to not lose that Filipino traditions and Filipino culture. Like when my children see me working with all these things, they obviously have questions. They ask a lot of things about it, and it's our way of really explaining to them that we're Filipino. This is how mom grew up. These are the things that we had in our house in the Philippines, and it's nice to have that conversation with them and to not lose that connection.
Right. And Becky, you're not Filipino, but you live there, and so.
And my husband is Filipino. I have a lot of friends that are half Filipino, or they are Filipino and they've moved to other countries, and I mean it can be quite complicated with your identity, but I think it's kind of magical that you get the opportunity to incorporate all these different cultures, and you have so much more experience, and it's just I can't really, it's hard to explain, but I've always found it quite amazing that we have this opportunity now to choose where we want to be and to experience different cultures, and we're very lucky to do that.
And I love that when you said we have an opportunity to choose. When you buy any of these products, you're not just buying for yourself or for your loved ones as a gift, you're also helping the Filipinos back home, right? And so amazing products, and amazing concept, amazing ventures. Rumples, where do you plan to take this?
We're just hoping to expand our online presence and really educate people about things that are made in the Philippines, the Philippine-made products, and the communities that are working, the hands that are working behind the scenes.
Well, the last couple of years have been incredibly challenging times, so we're lucky that with the help of family and friends, we have been able to survive the pandemic through mostly donations, if I'm honest. So, and unfortunately, a lot of our retailers had to close up shop due to the pandemic, so our current efforts are focused on rebuilding our sales channels to support our artisans and their families we currently work with. We'd love to expand our efforts to other areas of social need, but while we're still rebuilding, our main focus is bringing Lumagó back to where we stood before the pandemic, and then go from there.
I'm getting goosebumps because I know that it's not easy what you ladies are doing. You're going against the current, and there's little thought given to like the products that we consume. And so I love that you're standing your ground and you're making it work, and any way that we can help you, we'd love to. Please let us know. And for the viewers that are watching us, instead of giving whatever, Amazon thoughtless gift for your loved ones, why not give something meaningful, right? Something like this that will provide livelihood to Filipinos back home who need it.
I also want to make mention of Abra Weavers. I actually ordered quite a few from them. They have things like this. This is a terno. This is actually too small for me because this is for Lily. And this is one way of us Filipino moms outside of the Philippines to teach our children about the Philippine culture. And so we can even make this mommy and me. So this is for Lily. And look, this one is for me. See? It's so pretty. And we can wear this like casually with like a shirt and jeans. It's wearing our culture and our heritage, right? And teaching them to our children. And also, I'm very excited about this. You met her a long time ago here on the show, Aya Faroni of Aya's Threads. Remember the handmade bags in the Philippines? This is one, and I'm very, very excited and thankful to her for introducing us to. This is the Jannelle bag. If you want more information, we're actually offering, or they are offering, a discount on these bags. So make sure that you follow us online to get more information about Aya's Threads. This is the Jannelle bag, and any of the products that we have been featuring here on the show. So make sure you follow us on social media. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and even Twitter as well. We want to get social with you. Information on the screen, so get social with us.